Welcome to another episode of the Brothers Watch. We just got back from seeing From the World of John Wick, Ballerina. So we saw the early access premiere. We're going to go ahead and give our ratings and some spoiler-free review, and then we'll do a little bit of spoiler talk at the end. Real quick, Jeff, what's your rating out of 10?
I'd give it like a 7.3. I thought it was fun. The stunt work and the choreography with the fighting was really great.
Tony?
9-1.
Nice. I'm going to give it an 8.7.
7.3.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. Jeff, spoiler free. You like the stunts? I think the stunts are awesome too. That's one of my biggest parts about it.
Yeah, it was just fun. My only complaint, and it's not a spoiler, it's really like with all the John Wick movies, is just how many times are you going to see somebody running towards the protagonist without shooting?
Yeah, instead of shooting like from distance.
They're running with a gun.
I was thinking about that because I know your gripe with that. I was thinking about it during the movie. However, they're like friendly. It would be friendly fire if they just unload on it because there's so many people around
taking
them.
their own people.
It just doesn't make for good movies, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but maybe just scale back the amount of people you want to kill.
Well, I thought
make it more believable.
I thought they did a decent job. Like, she didn't use a gun very much.
No, they got creative.
Yeah.
I feel like
They got creative, but
Before we go any further, you get your bleep button ready because honestly, arms.
What's going into your review, Ben?
I'm surprised that Jeff loved the fight scenes and the choreography.
that kind of movie I feel like needs to be seen in theaters. I think if I had seen it at home, I might not have given it so high of a rating.
If you're a John Wick fan, this movie
100%.
is 100% for you.
I'm a big John Wick fan. There's a couple plot holes for me in the timeline. I thought we can get into later, but I thought as John Wick movies go, the gung fu was there.
Mm-hmm.
All the Terran Tactical's guns were there. It was, they had their own little nods to the first set of movies. I thought it was phenomenal.
Okay, I love this. So let's do a tier ranking. You ready? So this is wait for streaming, on the fence, see it in theaters. It's worth the price of a ticket, and then worth the price of a ticket and concessions is the highest you can get.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna say worth the price of concessions and the ticket.
I
It's
spent
that
$50 on this evening, and it was well worth it.
Okay,
and
Ben,
I'm losing a lot of sleep.
So Ben, breaking it down that way, where are you at?
I would say on the fence.
On the fence of streaming. Okay.
If you can see it in Dolby Atmos like that, or like the
IMAX or
yeah, then I think it's worth seeing in theaters. If you're just gonna watch it in standard, I would say wait for streaming.
And Jeff, where are you on that tier list?
I was recommending seeing it in theaters.
Okay, that's interesting. So let's do a little bit of spoiler talk. So if you don't want any spoilers, we'll see you next time. Like the video. Thanks for watching. So now, spoilers. Favorite aspect of the movie. Let's start with Ben. Favorite aspect of the movie.
My favorite scene was when she enters Frank's shop and just that like friendly, funny banter back and forth.
She's a really good actor when it comes to like that, like Knives Out, like same kind of concept. She just plays that quiet role so well.
Either that or the flamethrower.
Bro.
My only gripe with the flamethrower is it has like infinite ammo.
Hey, I have no gripes. I don't want to worry about ammo in John Wick. I don't want to worry about it. I just want
to be fair,
unloaded clips.
unlimited
clips.
As far as ammo and like gun realism goes, John Wick's like top tier.
Yeah.
As far as ammo, especially. So, and to be fair, I'm not sure that weapon exists in real life. So, like, you kind of just make your own rules as far as how much napalm or gas or whatever.
I mean, they only fought for like a half an hour using those guns, but yeah.
The way, how creative.
The dueling with that was insane,
so
bro.
Cool.
It was so cinematic and so fun to watch. And the water hose.
Favorite part.
I got two.
Okay.
When John Wick is doing his one thing and then like there's like funny banter between the bad guys, like, I'm not going in there, that's suicide, it's John Wick. I was like, you're damn right it's John Wick. I mean, Solo's like 15 people that doesn't even bleed.
And he's barely in the movie and he still solos like 15 people.
Yeah, he beats this girl's ass who literally takes down the whole town. Anyway.
Jeff?
What's
your second? What's your second?
I thought her, like, in general, this is not a scene, but like part that I liked, her as a female, a strong female, in a movie that was like super relatable. I thought it was awesome.
I agree.
And I think that's not hard to do, but movies make it seem like it's hard to do.
Hollywood makes it difficult for some reason.
She killed it. It wasn't like she's like beautiful and bad. They let her badassness be what carried her, and I thought it was sick. And that never works for me.
No, I agree. Jeff, what about yourself?
I actually really like the opening scene And then I think my favorite scene or like part of the movie was getting to see her go through the training.
Yeah, that was cool.
Getting to see, because I mean, when she's finally going to go off and murder 150 people, it kind of pays off. So you see her struggling a lot before. I thought that was good. You don't see that a lot nowadays.
No, especially the struggle. You'll see like a nice montage, but it's all win-win-win.
Yeah.
Toes were bleeding when she was
Yeah, they were.
I'm kind of with Ben where I love that scene at Frank's shop where the grenade stuff.
grenade flashbangs.
So many grenades, and they did it in such unique ways. It was awesome.
It's kind of like her
was
dad
crazy.
in the beginning, with the smoke bombs, like kind of like
it was really cool.
An ode to him.
And then to your point, my other favorite part, not necessarily scene, is that they finally made a really, really good movie recently where they had the female lead who's supposed to be a badass, and they didn't make it about like, oh, it's so good only because she's a female.
Right.
No, she was just awesome. Like she was just straight up a badass, and for all the cool ways that she should have been, they made it feel earned too, which was great. They show the training and all that stuff, and they do justice by John Wick. Because they could have easily made this movie hey, she is the
show face
and then like also when they're fighting, she fights John Wick, and John Wick is like, hey, I'm still the guy.
I'm still the guy.
But she obviously gets her due.
He's still the guy, bro. That whole whatever where she sees the ballerina toy and she goes into that little bakery, or whatever. That whole like fight scene, especially when she was upstairs having the knife duct taped to the handle, was like twisting, and I was like, awesome. Oh my god!
How many times did you just go like this? Like you couldn't believe
what happened.
So cool.
And it was like violent, and like there was some parts that were gory. So warning there. But I didn't think they overdid the gore.
No, I don't think so either.
It had a little Final Destination in it.
I was
like 2 scenes.
No. Thank you for bringing that up, because I had that in the chamber. Like
the Final Destination.
Do you guys not see any correlation with
there was
these
a
kind of
little
movies? And then Final Destination.
No.
They, I mean, it's like 007
I think it's
and Mission Impossible.
creative ways of killing people,
which is Final Destination. That is the whole shtick.
Well, I don't think there's anything really creative about getting hit in the face with an ice pick or a gun.
I mean,
the way you just described it, with her having the gun and the knife attached to the gun.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's creative. Okay, all right.
The entire like killing with ice skates and everything.
Yeah.
It was. I'm so happy you mentioned that, Ben, because it's so similar. It's just a different bowl of cereal. One's Reese's Puffs, the other's Lucky Charms.
Yeah, but it's the reasoning.
I think it's a different breakfast food.
This is more my bowl of cereal. Final Destination, I can see it being like very similar, but
100%, yeah.
And go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
the plate scene where they just keep beating each other with plates.
I was like, bro, this is like a little extended here. We could have done 10 seconds less.
But like you said, man, it just kept going, and the entertainment kept coming, and it wasn't like, oh, at this point this is a lull. Like I can't. We got to get through this. Hurry up, come on, get to something more interesting.
I thought, big spoiler here, I thought that Homegirl being her sister was great.
Yeah,
you can
but
see that a mile away.
I would have really appreciated like just even a 5-minute. Like, let's team up and shoot our way out of here.
Yeah, same here.
Instead of like, oh, now 5 seconds later I'm dead. I didn't really care for that. Also, what's the guy's name? Daryl? What's his actor's name?
Norman
Bates?
Norman Reedus?
Reedus, yeah. Whatever his name is. He could have been in more.
I wish he was.
Me too. I knew he wasn't going to die. I really thought he was going to come in and save the day at the end.
I thought he was going to be something. They were going to stumble on him.
Yeah.
Shout out Lance Reddick.
Shout out Lance Reddick.
Who's that?
That was the concierge.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Overall, good experience to me. It seems like we're all pretty favorable on the movie for the most part.
I'll also, so for me, the lore of like this whole universe is sick. I love the idea of it. I thought they really did a good job kind of continuing where it was, but you could see John Wick was missing his finger, which he cut off in the third one. In order to cut off his finger, he needed to escape being chased by all the assassins, which is when he punched his ticket. What's her name? The manager of the Belaruskas?
Okay, manager.
Yeah, her. She pays her penance to the high table by getting a samurai sword through both her hands, which is supposed to be happening all simultaneously. So, like, in no scene are her hands wounded, which I thought was a plot hole.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at all of them again.
Yeah, oh, you mean watch them for the first time?
No, I've seen them.
And also, just a nod to John Wick movies in general. Am I going too far?
No.
A nod to John Wick movies in general. The actual, like, gung fu of it. I'm sure you guys have seen Michael B. Jordan and Keanu Reeves and Halle Berry training at Terran's Ranch, Terran Tacticals.
Yep.
So he's like, champion 3-gun shooter. He's like really innovated the movie industry with his kind of training tactics. And that's why you see all the cool actors go out there and like learn practical use of these weapons and how they use them. And John Wick really started that movement. And now Terran's guns, so he makes his own firearms, are in the movie. And you can see his brand on them when she's like the TTI, whatever. That's Terran Tactical Innovations, his brand. It's like all of that is super like really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let us know if you guys are gonna go see it over the weekend. If you have seen it, by the time you're watching this, drop a description of what you thought down below and give us your rating. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to be doing more movie reviews coming up. We got a big summer ahead of us. So we'll see you in the next episode.